Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review. I hope you've had a great Monday. This is, of course, a transfer show with myself and Alex. However, we do also have Billy Bob Coleman sitting behind the scenes watching the Liverpool-Leicester game, or Leicester-Liverpool, whichever way you want to see it. And he is going to let me know in the private chat if anything happens in the game, and we'll bring him on straight away to give us some information about what has just happened. So he is our roving reporter. He's our Chris Kamara tonight, Alex. So looking forward to Leicester doing one against Liverpool. We hope. It'll certainly make us feel a little bit better going into Thursday's game if Liverpool have lost, Alex.
Yeah. I mean,
even though we still got to do it ourselves.
Well, yeah, but it does reduce the points total required. It makes it a little bit easier. It means they'll be still on 62 points, and we'll be on 66 with a game in hand. And then if we get anything against Brighton, even if we get a point, it suddenly means we are 5 points ahead of Liverpool with 2 games to go. So makes a big difference. So we could really do with Leicester doing us a favour here, because we've not been perfect. We're not expected to be perfect, but it would do us a big favour.
Absolutely. Just before we get going, I want to say a big shout out to Mary, because she put in the Facebook group earlier on today that she was heeding some of my advice, and she's jumped on some transport and got herself up to Newcastle. So if any Toon reviewers want to go and have a drink with Mary, or introduce yourselves, or arrange something with Mary, please feel free in the chat. It would be, she's up having, well, let's just say, enjoying the bright lights of Newcastle. So enjoy it, Mary, whatever you get up to while you're up here. Stiff Gator says, it suddenly dawned on me this evening, I'm a massive Leicester fan. How are the Foxes? Yes. Jacka says, evening team, hope everyone's well, but who's feeling it's squeaky bum time for the Champions League? Come on, Madison, help out your future team. Absolutely. That was interesting. Come on, Madison, give your future employers a Champions League tonic. I mean, we should have all just grouped together and sent them a big message on Instagram, shouldn't we? Just saying, your future employers are watching tonight. Just make sure that you, A, score a few goals, B, put in a wonderful performance, and C, thrash the Scouse. That's what we want to happen tonight. But on the transfer front, Alex, I know he's probably not going to be featured tonight because we featured him last week. Shabojlai. It's really picking up with him now.
Funny that.
Yeah. Scouts out to see him again. And it really has picked up pace. And I mean, this guy, if we get him, Alex, it's a fabulous start to the transfer window, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we sent scouts, which was confirmed, and Sky Germany confirmed we're interested. So regardless of what you think about Sky, they are considerably more reputable than general sort of newspapers and journalists.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'm just a little bit bitter that a few people called me out for running him on the transfer show a few weeks ago, when, as you can see, I'm just reporting on news and it's generally right. So there you go. I mean, it's not in the know stuff. I'm literally wearing not in the know t-shirt.
No, we are not in the know. Absolutely not.
It's just having eyes and a brain and going, oh, that publication is reputable and have said this. Okay, cool. We'll talk about it in a transfer show. It's literally that. But he would be outrageous. He's something kind of in between Maddison and something else midfieldery. He can play out wide. He's younger. I think he's got a higher skill ceiling. He's far more proven at international level as well. Although I do think a lot of that's down to Southgate being incompetent. This kid I feel like has got a much higher ceiling than Maddison has. Obviously, the only difference is he's not done it in the Premier League, and obviously Maddison got nearly 20 goal contributions. Was it last season or the season before? So he is no joke, man. James Maddison is an incredible footballer, but Szoboszlai, he fits the physical profile a little bit more. I think he was 6'1" when we looked at him. He might be even a little bit taller than that. So he definitely fits that. I'm just going to check what I just said there and make sure I didn't look at him. Is he definitely 6'1"? He is exactly 6'1". I did it right. So, yeah, he'd be somebody that would have been incredible. I would say that is important of a signing. So, if you think about, for people who've never seen this kid play, I think this would be the same as Isak in the front line. This would be the next Isak for us, but the midfield version of Isak. I think this kid's that good. He would the guy in midfield. That's me saying that, even though we've got Bruno. Like, this kid has a higher skill ceiling, in my opinion.
Also, a bit of a surprise. My German team Leverkusen, Alex, picking up Grimaldo today.
Yeah, I'm really glad you mentioned that, because we need to talk about that. So what do you think about that then? Are you excited about that, or sad that we didn't get him in the Toon?
Well, obviously the Toon come first for me, whatever happens. But the fact, second best for me is Leverkusen get them. So, I watch a lot of Leverkusen, so I'll get to see him play a lot. But I think, I think we've missed the boat on him. I don't know if there was ever really any strong interest. I know we covered him on a transfer show because there was reports in the media, but we didn't really seem to be pushing for it. Leverkusen have obviously offered him a very good deal for him to go there. Out of all the clubs that were interested, for him to go to Leverkusen is a bit of a surprise. But, Xavi Alonso, he's got a lot of respect across Europe, hasn't he? Because of what he did as a player as well, let's not forget. And, it's an interesting move for me, but I'm disappointed Newcastle didn't go for him.
Well, look, so, we do need to talk about this in depth, because we're all talking about left backs, Dan Burn, Matt Targett, what's going to go happen in the summer. So this is an important topic, because we're not reviewing any left backs today, but I think it's worth having a couple of minutes to talk about it. So obviously, Grimaldo leaving, going to Bayer Leverkusen. Michel Bakker is at Bayer Leverkusen, somebody that we were rumoured to be interested in when he was at Atalanta. We didn't go for him. I think there was, it might have even been confirmed interest. I'd have to double check that. It's rumoured that we're not interested in him anymore, but again, rumours, we're not in the know. Who knows? Very, very interesting few posts from Sanjay today on Twitter that I agree with, to be honest. So if you don't follow Sanjay on Twitter, it's at NUFC Sanjay. So he's put today, if NUFC are looking for a left back in the Dan Burn mould, there's a pretty small pool of players to pick from. Hincapie, who is at Roma. You've got Kelly, Colwill. He also brought up Gonzalo Inacio from Sporting, who we have been strongly linked with in the past, even though he's a centre half. So Sanjay backs this up by saying, if you're recruiting for a specific if I can talk, let me try that again. If you're recruiting for a specific role, it's often easier to recruit on the basis of skill sets rather than experience in said role, which I would agree with. It tends to be how Eddie Howe used to operate back in the sort of lower league days of Bournemouth. He would recruit skill sets, technical ability, physical attributes instead of positionally. It kind of, if that makes any sense, it's more role based. So Inacio, despite being a centre half, profiles a lot more like Dan Burn, but more technical, younger, faster, could do a lot more with the team. So I would agree with this. I don't think we were ever in for somebody like Grimaldo. I think the idea is to bring in people that profile more like Dan Burn. I think the long-term goal is to play asymmetrical. I think they want a technical right back and then a tall, slightly different profiled left back, because they want to do this asymmetrical thing. That's what it looks like. A lot of people are saying it. I agree with it. So I don't think we're going to go out and get super speedy, magical left back like when we were linked with Renan Lodi. I think that's been binned. I think we're going to go asymmetrical, and I wouldn't be surprised if the left back we get in is going to be 6 foot plus, a little bit more aggressive. I can definitely see that happening, but unfortunately, because I do like Grimaldo.
Yes, well, I've just signed him on Football Manager. Season hasn't started yet, but I have already brought in Maddison. I have brought in Grimaldo, and I have brought in Declan Rice.
You put a few payments on the never, have you there?
Well, you know,
I'll pay you a few p this window and a few.
I have wheeled and dealed, Alex. But
definitely,
you know, I have to end this terrible run on Football Manager, and I have to try and do well. So I've got those 3 so far, and you know, I've got rid of a few and things like that. So the season is pre-season is about to start, and I'm very excited. But let's go to our Billy Kamara and see what the crack is at the early stages of the match. Billy?
Yeah, Leicester started really well. Really physical. They're playing a high-intensity press game. And they forced Alisson to come out and clear twice out of his box. But look, the better side of the minute. Liverpool not quite at the races just as yet. They have been complaining about referees, and Klopp's already had a go at the 4th official, and we're only 11 minutes in.
Hey, yeah, man, this is ridiculous. Honestly, do they look rattled, Liverpool?
They do. They're running around like headless chickens now, trying to get the ball back in the Leicester half. The 43% of the game has been in the Liverpool final third, which Leicester are through now. Actually, Harvey Barnes left hand side, going at Kunati. Sorry, on the outside into Vardy. Vardy's got a chance. Good save, Alisson.
Damn. Oh, it's close. Right, we'll be back to you shortly, Billy. Cheers, bud. So there you go. That was Billy. John Noble says, do you think Garen Kowal's loan at Hearts should be cancelled and train with our first team? It's pointless cancelling it now, John, to be fair. I mean, it's the end of the season. I think Eddie will get Garang back for pre-season. He'll have a good look at him. And I would think Alex Kowal will go back out on loan next season, and probably the Championship would be the ideal place to go.
Yeah, I mean, it is really difficult. It's on my to-do list when I get some more time, is to go and sit down and look at all of his minutes, have a look at when he's been subbed on, how he's playing, where he's been used.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the problem is, whether it's physicality, consistency, like instructions. But ideally, we know he's got talent, and he just needs to play in a league that's reasonably good, where he can get 30 to 40 appearances and just learn. And it's just not happening at the moment. If it's the wrong level for him, fine, whatever. Let's just, Elliot Anderson had, a much lower league loan spell and has been quite useful for us this year. So let's not diss the lower leagues. There is a lot of value in the right loan. He's still a very young boy, so it's fine.
Yeah. Right, we're just putting a poll up. And basically the question is, what type of left back would you as a fan like to see come in? So basically, like Trippier, which is attacking, or like Dan Burn, like Burn, which is what, Alex? Tall.
So an attacking Trippier-like left back, or a tall Dan Burn-like left back? Obviously, if we're going to go for another Burn-like left back, it would have to be somebody younger, more technical, a bit more aggressive, can attack a bit more. But ultimately,
yeah,
it's kind of like saying, do you want Digne as a left back? Like, when Digne was playing really well, obviously he's struggling a bit now, but he was great. Or do you want somebody who profiles a bit more like Dan Burn as a left back?
Well, that poll is up there now, so get voting, guys. It'd be interesting to see what kind of left back you want to see come in. For me, personally, I want to see an attacking left back, because I think we'll see the best of, if Maxi stays at the club, we'll see the best of him. If he's got somebody overlapping and pinging the ball across, I think it makes a very, very different player out of Maxi. Just my personal opinion, but we don't have that overlap at the minute, and it does affect us. Brandon says, buzzing to eventually catch a live show. It's been a while, and it's my favourite show. Thank you very much. New Jersey Geordie says, this Hungarian kid and the Turkish Messi fit our strategy of finding diamonds in the rough instead of throwing 120 million at a 30-year-old. Chestnut checkers from our front office.
Still really expensive, though. It's not like Szoboszlai is not an unearthed gem. It's very well known how good he is. Let's not forget he was part of the 4-1 demolition Hungary did against Southgate's terrible England recently.
Yeah,
he's quite high profile.
Yeah, listen, I mean, when we're talking here, there is going to be other teams. There's going to be other teams in for these players, and it's not just going to be Newcastle United. It will be, we will be fighting and scrapping for all these players. We will have to do some seriously good negotiating to make sure that we get the players that we are aiming for. Jordy Ladd says, are still rumours that Real Madrid are going to go for Bruno? Let them try. Irani Granny says, I've got a bone to pick with you, Ditchburn. I leave the TV on for my parrot. He's been watching TTR all day. He now says XG and take your face for a shit. Oh, dear. Whoops. Call Me Swift says, Alex, have you seen that prospect from Barca, Philip Mebut? He looks like a cracking player. Nice try, Call Me Swift, but we don't do that kind of crap on here. My friend supports Leicester, and we're watching the game together next Monday, and I hope we win, and that's the game that relegates them. Oh, well, happy. I'm sure your friend is very, very happy about that. JJ says, keep up the great work, Paul and guys. Great content again. Thank you very much. Right, our first player of the evening is Paulo Dybala, and I can say that name. Thank you very much. I'm here all week. Take it away, Alex.
Yeah, so Paulo Dybala, or Bruno Dybala, his middle name's Bruno. I'm pretty sure he's got Ezekiel in there as well because he used to be in his FIFA name profile. So this guy, in the last couple of seasons, it's not been as great because Juventus fell off a cliff. They sold Ronaldo. They put all their eggs in one basket to try and win a Champions League. It didn't quite work. The squad fell to bits. The cohesion fell to bits. The Pirlo project didn't work. Yada, yada, yada. Dybala went to Roma because Mourinho is Mourinho. Mm-hmm. This is a kid that got in the team ahead of Messi for Argentina a few years ago, or was playing with him, next to him all the time.
Yeah, he was.
Literally back to back, Juventus first place. He was part of that, scoring outrageous amounts of goals. He was on the front of FIFA covers and football magazines. This guy was literally one of the top 5 to 10 players in the world at periods of time in the last decade. Not all the time, but he's dipped in and out depending on form and what's been going on at club level. Do you want to know something really interesting as well?
I actually want to know what's happened to Dybala because he's just gone down. Something's happened to him. If you can just talk for a few minutes, Alex, just while I put the right internet on, matey, please.
Okay, no worries. I'll set this up for you guys then, the viewers watching. Before I scroll down, his closest profiling player that is statistically the most similar to him is somebody we're also linked with. So I'm not going to tell you yet. Have a little think to yourselves, and I'll obviously reveal it when we scroll down, and I'll get Paul to guess as well. But before...
Yeah, we've just got a $10 super chat in, Alex, from Tampa Toon. Thank you very, very much. Paul, YouTube is messing with Toon Review's memberships. Mine is cancelling every 2 to 3 weeks, and for your information, unless someone in my family is messing with me. First I've heard of it. If anyone else is having the same problem, let me know. Because that shouldn't happen. Go on, Alex, carry on.
Game for you as well as the viewers, Paul. Who is the person that he profiles closest to? Because we have been linked. Yeah, he profiles closest to somebody who we have also been linked with. I'll let you think about that while we do more. So, wide forward, left, right, plays as a striker, plays behind the striker, shadow striker, 10, anywhere. Pretty much he can do a job anywhere on the front line. He's technically good enough, positionally good enough. Isn't quite got that physicality that might be necessary, but we might be able to get away with it. Again, you can always get away with it with 1 or 2 players in a team. It depends. It depends on how well they can compensate in other areas and if they can still pull their weight to a point. So goal contributions this season are immense. In 1,600 minutes, 11 goals, 6 assists it's just filthy. He is outperforming his XG, but he normally does because he's got a lot of quality. 4 goals in the Europa League as well with 1 assist. 29 years old now, so this is it really. This is it. I could see him having a 3 or 4 year contract somewhere decent. If he does want to move, and then could see him fading into the back ends of Serie A or back to South America potentially.
I don't know what's happened to this guy. He was one of my.
He's fine.
He was. I know that, but
he didn't go off a cliff. It was Juventus.
No. He's just disappeared into the. He's not as highly profiled as he used to be. I don't know.
No. Another important thing: set piece taker, left-footed. Really, really important, versatile. Could be the inverted right winger theoretically. Right, so let's scroll down and actually have a look at who the profile player is. Do you want to take a guess, Paul? Who do you think he profiles closest to?
I mean, Christ, it could be anybody.
I mean, it gives more legs to the links. To be fair,
is there any chance of a clue, please, Bob?
There you go. Well, I've shown you now.
Oh, Maddison. Well, there you go. Yeah.
So the fact it's Maddison is interesting, right? Considering we know it's confirmed we were interested in Maddison because we placed 2 bids, so we know that's real. So the fact that he profiles closest to him statistically,
well, he also profiles with some absolutely fantastic players, does he not?
Read that.
I mean, you know, Asensio, Brandt, Salah, Diaby, Messi, Sane, Son. I don't know who that Turkish guy is. Under over, and of course Neymar.
Yeah, I mean, it gets more interesting if I press forward. So he's still profiling extremely well. Griezmann's on the list. I mean, Aguero, Messi.
Yeah.
So in terms of how he plays football, so passes and pass completions are reasonably high. Progressive passes are reasonably high. He's not quite as dribbly as he used to be, but shot creating actions are in the top 7% in Europe. His assists, his shots, he's just so just technically gifted. And then if we change it to forwards, if you do want to play him sort of alongside, sort of as a wide forward, as we kind of use with our system as well, he could definitely play in this Miggy role or out left, I reckon, probably out right as an inverted right winger. And then he could always sort of float in behind the striker as well. And the statistics here when you swap into a forward are just through the roof. The kid's a monster, still 29 years old, so there's plenty of time left. Go down and have a look at his career. So Palermo, when he became an adult, obviously won Serie B, got promoted, got his transfer after the first season of Serie A to Juventus, and then literally won back to back Serie A titles, dominated. Had a bit of a blippy season here where he got sort of, I mean, I say blippy season, it's still 9 goal contributions. That's kind of what Maxi gets when he's played a full season. But he's gone from sort of, you know, the goal contributions here are outrageous. It's typically more than 20 in the last couple of seasons. So his final season at Juventus, 10 goals, 5 assists is still incredibly useful. You know, it's more than like Miggy's got for us, and Miggy's had the season of his life. So this season for Roma, 11 goals, 6 assists, been playing really well for Mourinho's team, even though he's not been playing as much recently. So let's go and have a look. Oh, I have a little Easter egg to show everyone. You're all going to like this. So for anybody who's not been a fan if anybody who's been a fan for a long time, then you will know this. Let's just knock that value down. So this little friendly game that he played in, like Argentina against Curaçao, there was a funny player in the opposition lineup that I want to show everyone.
It's not.
It is. So
no.
Right, this is their team.
Yeah.
This is the Argentina team. If I scroll down, look who's in the middle for Curaçao.
It's bloody Vernon Anita.
I know, and he actually dropped a good rating as well. He had a solid game, to be fair. Let's get rid of that.
Wow.
He had a really good game.
Yeah, we've got 100 Norwegian kroner in from Trolls. Thank you, Trolls. And Peter Dolan, £10 super chat. He says, I want a Franco Baresi type fullback and no smart ass contradictions because he is without doubt the very best fullback in the world history. And he was hard as whose feet? Well, somebody's feet. Yeah, carry on, Alex.
Yeah, so we'll drop down from that international game because there's no point. He did get an assist in it, but I don't think it counts against Curaçao. That's basically the San Marino version of over there. So Roma against Sampdoria, he dropped a 9.2 and scored a penalty. Let's have a look. So Mourinho's system, not wing backs for this game. He does like to sort of change it up. He's had a lot of injuries recently. Dybala is currently injured as well until I think somewhere around the 19th of May. So a 4-2-3-1 in this system with El Shaarawy and Pellegrini and Dybala as your 3 behind Abraham is filthy, considering how solid Wijnaldum and Matic would be in a Serie A midfield. This team he's built is monstrous. I'm a big fan of it. So let's have a look at Dybala's stats that he dropped his 9.2 on. So very lively heat map. You can see he's been involved in set pieces as well.
Oh, set pieces.
Go down and have a look. I know, left-footed as well. So his goal was from a pen. Expected assist was 0.75. So arguably he should have had an assist, but Obviously, people didn't finish their dinner. That's whatever. Probably Abraham's fault. You know what he's like. So 8 key passes. That's something Trippier does when he's on one, or Maxi. Like, that is outrageous. 8 key passes in the game. Really tidy passing accuracy considering he's playing as a forward. 6 accurate crosses, 5 accurate long balls. So many shots, completed all of his dribbles, being quite physical, just an all-round performance, albeit against quite an average Sampdoria side. And look who he was against, funnily enough. Dybala's side, he got Harry Winks on that left side of the Sampdoria midfield.
Harry Winks,
I know he's at Sampdoria. So there's so many funny players around Europe at the moment that have just English players that have just disappeared. So game against Torino, scores a penalty again. He's a good penalty taker. Look, it's pair of shoes. We've been linked with him as well.
Pair of shoes, it is indeed.
So here we go. Mourinho back to wing backs with a 3-4-2-1. Dybala's not really been getting as much of a look in this system recently because they've gone a bit defensive and he's a little bit injured. And Zalewski and Spinazzola are brilliant wing backs as well. So let's have a look and see how he did in this game. Ridiculous heat map. He's everywhere because he's so technically good. He's used kind of all over the pitch. You can see he's been involved in set pieces again. We'll have a little look. So expected goals, that's his penalty. He got his goal. 76% pass accuracy, a couple of key passes. Not quite as impressive, but tidy. Drew 3 fouls. Again, very technically gifted in that sense. So hang on, I'm trying to scroll so I can get rid of one of these. So recently he's not been playing as much. Rating dropped off. He got injured. But, he's still fine. And Roma have been pulling some out of the bag. They really have. Against an Inter team. They lost 2-0 against Inter, but let's not forget, this is an Inter team that have got 1 foot in the Champions League final. So you can be forgiven to losing a game against Inter at the moment. You can see he just basically shut the front door, the back door, the side gate. He's gone, well, that is Mourinho, that is. He's gone 3-5-1-1. It's unfortunate that I don't think he had Wijnaldum fit for this game either. Dybala does not get a look in this kind of game because he's gone full defensive. So he's come on as a substitute on 71 minutes. He's tried to influence the game a little bit. You can see the kind of areas he's playing. This is where we want to sign somebody, either somebody to challenge Miggy or be better than Miggy, or play long staff, or kind of float between the two. He can play in that sort of area. And then the last game was Roma against Leverkusen. So this is them with 1 foot in the final of the Europa League. So, Mourinho again won the Conference League last year, and he could, if he holds his nerve, get through to the Europa League final. Leverkusen are no joke this year as well. They are monsters. Let's go up to the lineups. So funny wing backs again. But he's typically not favouring. He likes to go with his double prong attack on occasion, and this is the kind of shape where Dybala doesn't really get a look in because of his wing backs. That is also such a disgustingly strong Leverkusen side. We've also been linked with him, but he's an interesting left back. So scroll down and have a look at Dybala. Replaced Belotti. Plodded about a bit, 13 minutes, didn't get a chance to do much. It is what it is. You can see what he's about. He's very, very technically gifted, but in a Mourinho team, it's a funny role for him. There'll be certain games where he's going to be really, really important for Mourinho, and then there's going to be certain games where he's not used because he's not what Mourinho wants in certain games, because that's just what he's like as a manager.
Is he an Eddie Howe player, though? That's the question.
Possibly. I mean, if Chris Wood signed for us, then anybody can sign for us realistically. So 38 caps, 3 goals for Argentina. I mean, he's won the lot. He's just won the World Cup, for God's sake. He was on the pitch. He's won pretty much everything apart from the Champions League. So if we scroll on and have a look, I mean, talking about how good he used to be, his highest market value in 2018, he was rated at 110 million euros 5 seasons ago, which just goes to show how highly he was rated at one point in time.
Right. I just want to say something, Alex. It may be a surprise to you, but I'm actually going to stick up for you here. Peter's put a comment in saying he would love to see Franco Baresi type left back. Well, Franco Baresi was not a left back. He was a centre back for a start. He was a sweeper. So you've got that wrong, Peter. However, you then come out and say no contradictions from the smug number cruncher because he's without a doubt the best fullback ever. Well, you've made a right fool of yourself there because you're having a dig at Alex, and I don't like that at all. So, yeah, pack it in.
I do also watch football.
Pack it in right now with all the derogatory comments, guys, because I'm getting a bit fucking fed up, to be honest. If you've got nothing good to say and you want to insult somebody, then don't bother putting anything in the chat. It's really pathetic, considering, Peter, you're a member. I would expect better from you. I really would. Please don't have a dig at anybody on this channel, because Alex does a fabulous job with what he does away from the camera, doing all of this and setting all this out for you and for your enjoyment, to go through these players that are linked. No other channel does this as in-depth as we do, and that's because Alex puts the hard work in. He's got a full-time job as well, but he still puts his arse into gear to sort this out for your viewing, guys, right? Now, if you're not happy, don't comment, right? It's pointless, because the majority of people on here watch this because they like the in-depth statistical stats of the players that we're looking at and what they could bring to Newcastle United. So I'm getting a bit, there was one last night and another one. I'm getting a bit fucking pissed with it, right? So stop, please, or I'll just remove you from the channel, member or not. I'm not having people having horrible little digs all the time, because yes, there's banter and we love the banter and we always will have the banter, but personal little snide remarks ain't going ahead on this channel. I can tell you that for a start. So pack it in. Anyway, let's head to Billy Bob. Billy, what's the crack? About half an hour gone?
Yeah, 31 on the clock, 32 now, actually. Since we last spoke, Liverpool have taken total control of territory and possession. Yet, with all that territory and possession, they've not really created anything. They've had a shot into the side netting from Luis Diaz, who got in behind Pereira. And about 2 minutes ago, Fabinho blasted one way over the bar from about 25 yards out. Apart from that, nothing really happening.
Well, I mean, is a draw good for us if it stays like this? Is that good? Yeah. Well, there you go. They've gone
for that over the top ball again, and Luis Diaz is in. Now it's Henderson. They've got a chance here with Liverpool. Salah's gone for the far post. Curtis Jones, 1-0 Liverpool. Curtis Jones.
Oh, bollocks! We've come to you totally the fucking wrong time. I knew it. Oh, damn it. Goals as they go in on the Toon review, guys. It doesn't get better than that.
That long ball tactic again they used against us. Wout Feces caught way out of position.
Oh, well, there's a surprise. What the hell? Why were we ever linked with Wout Feces, by the way? He is one of the worst centre-backs I have seen in the Premier League this season. There is no doubt about it. He is literally living up to his name. He is dog dirt. I mean, my God.
Shocking.
Oh, well, never mind. Billy, thanks for that fabulous news. We'll catch up with you again soon, buddy.
Okie dokie.
God damn it. I mean, really? Never mind. Alan says Thursday night's referee is none other than Robert Jones from Liverpool. Yes, I saw that earlier on today. Keep a close eye on his decision making. Yes. But I don't think many Newcastle fans have took to Twitter like Man United fans did when Michael Oliver was refereeing them. But we will be keeping a very, very close eye on him. No doubt about it. It's a VAR check. Oh, hang on. Let's go back to Billy. VAR check, Billy?
Yeah, he just looks on to me, but yeah, they're checking possible offside. It's Luis Diaz.
Maybe Watford had a good offside trap. Maybe he did a good move.
Oh, please.
He went over his head, then he had a chance to clear it and then didn't. But it's been given goal allowed. 1-0 Liverpool.
Oh, well, never mind. Cheers, Billy.
Okie dokie.
So there you go. 1-0 to Liverpool. Not the score we wanted. Reese says Alex seems like a top bloke, so just cut it out. Exactly. He is a top bloke. I know me and Alex have our debates on here and they get a bit, salty, but that's what it's all about when you're passionate about football. But me and Alex don't fall out. He's one of my best mates and but people don't agree on everything at the same time. But I will not have insults flying. I will not have personal insults.
Ultimately, I mean, I don't need defending, but I do appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. But, in November, the club themselves signed a deal with StatsBomb and spend a lot of money on data analysts, scouts, people that do what I do on a far more professional level. Because I'm not a professional, I'm a fan, same as everyone. There's nothing wrong with stats. Stats is how the game is played right now, completely. Whether you like it or not, it's how football is.
Well, of course, no, but that's not the point, Alex. A lot of people like what you do, as you can see the comments coming in, and I'm just fed up of it, to be honest, because we all do.
It's always the odd one, isn't it?
Yeah, but we all do our bit behind the scenes for the channel, and there's a reason why I brought you on, why I brought Billy on, Jack, etc. We've all got our qualities, and that's why the channel works. Everybody keeps commenting how well we bounce off each other and we do different things. But I will not have personal insults going on anybody. Arani Granny, thank you for your £20 super chat. The Granny says, get some beers for Alex. So there you go. I mean, listen, when you force Arani Granny to open their wallet, then Jesus Christ. Pilo Key says, I love your stato. Sticking up for your co-host. Good on you. Well said, Paul. We love all that you do, Alex. Chipper simply says, idiots, please F off. Swankzilla says, the first Paul rant that I can get 100% behind. Good man. Tampa Toon, thank you for your $10 super chat. Billy's going ballistic. Don't mess with these stats, man. The dude works hard for these shows. Absolutely. Let's go back to Billy Bob.
Yeah, it's another Curtis Jones goal there. This one looks offside, though. VAR are checking, but this one looks offside to me.
Are you going to...
It's a brilliant finish, but it looks just offside, but it's very close. It's a great finish from Jones, to be fair.
Are you actually going to bring us any good news tonight, Billy? I mean,
I'm hoping to, but I'm hoping this is going to be good news now because he just looks a micrometre offside.
Just tell us it's been disallowed. I mean, that
it's Liverpool, isn't it? So you never know. They might shrink his feet or whatever, but he looks slightly ahead of Johnny Evans, to be honest.
Yeah, but it is Liverpool. So remember, you've got the Liverpool, the few inches that the Liverpool are allowed during a VAR check, remember?
Well, I'm amazed they haven't got the lines out already because this is the only way this is going to get disallowed is by getting the lines out.
Well, we know that even the lines don't dictate that sometimes.
They haven't brought the lines out. Goal given 2-0 Liverpool.
Oh, piss off!
Unbelievable.
Right. Okay, what's your honest opinion, Billy? Was it offside?
Yes, I thought it was. It's now almost nearly 3 as well. Great save from Everson.
Oh,
Liverpool are now dominating, and this goal difference that we have at the minute could be over at this rate.
Oh, well, maybe it's next time we come back to you, Billy. They'll have got 2 goals back. We have 4 half-time. It'll be 2-2.
That was offside for me. Absolutely.
Oh, well, there you go. Cheers, Billy. There you go. So 2-0 Liverpool. Stephanie says, Alex is so knowledgeable. It's unbelievable with stats, and he seems like a lovely person. There's no need. Indeed. I mean, let's not go over the top here for Alex. You know what I mean? I was, let's... I'm only joking. Who's the next player, Alex?
Oh, we're not finished with Dybala yet.
Oh, we're not?
No.
Okay. All right, there you go.
Still important information left.
Okay, I do apologise. There you go.
Right, how much do you think this kind of player would cost, realistically?
How much he will cost?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'd probably say around 25 mil.
All right, so this is the important information here. So release clause is 20 million euros for Italian clubs and a rumoured 12 million euros for foreign clubs.
Well, I'd seen that. I'd seen the 12 million last week, but I thought that can't be right. That just can't be right.
It's been reported in many, many places. The fact that it's also on Transfermarkt gives it a bit more weight. His agents are relatives. He's not got professional representation. So if there's any truth in this, we could end up dropping something like 40 to 60 on a Szoboszlai and getting Dybala for 12 million euros. All of a sudden, we've got 2 players who have won league titles and are used to European and international football. We've suddenly got that depth of quality. Regardless of whether he only plays 15, 20 games, whether he doesn't fit the system for every game, it's he'd be an absolutely incredible acquisition. So I would love him at the club. I think he's insane. He's incredible. But yeah, there you go. That's Dybala. That was the last bit.
Okay, there you go. Rachel says she loves you as well, Alex. There you go. Sophia, good evening. Hope you're well. Very late again. What's going on? Terrace says, I come to this channel largely because of Alex.
Well, thank you.
All right. Away. Not to say I don't value the banter and camaraderie from the others. Well, there you go. Jeez. Mary says Alex is one of our own. We defend our own. You don't like the content? Feck off. Wow. Paul says here, did you see where the green line was drawn for that Liverpool goal? It was 3 foot in front of them both. Dodgy as F. Well, there's a surprise. There is a complete surprise. Davey, good evening. Alex is a massive part of the channel, along with Billy Jack and your good lady, Paul. Best on YouTube by miles and miles. Roy is not happy with Liverpool, it's fair to say. But let's get our next player up here. And it is Lucas Moura. And I can see his name. But before you do, Alex, we've got a £5 super chat from Peekyboo. Love Alex's stats. He explains double pivots, XG, team tactics in a great way. His knowledge is what brings me back time and time again to this channel. Well, there you go. Thank you very much. Nobody's mentioned what considering, the host, being my channel and stuff like that. But, we'll gloss over it.
You do normally get those plaudits.
I do bloody not. Anyway, Lucas Moura, Alex, I think people might be surprised that he's in this tonight.
Well, I mean, he's been linked. So
I
can't remember where he's been linked. He's been linked via Fichajes. So he's been linked by foreign media. Do think of that what you will. This is going to be a harder one because, to be completely honest with you, I don't know because he doesn't really have any stats. He's not been playing. I don't think he's made a senior appearance this season. That's of any note. He's not made any. I don't think he's started any games. I think it's 13 appearances. It's nothing. I don't think he's even started. So he's got no statistical data here. He's not played enough minutes. I can't show you how he's profiling at the moment. We know how he used to play. He used to be one of those really, really aggressive, energetic, ratty little Spurs forwards with the famous Ajax hat-trick. Really,
I was going to mention the Ajax game, Alex. That was one that stood out to me because he basically got Tottenham through the final on his own because they were down and out.
But the issue is, this kid peaked very young. He was a PSG wonder kid. He was with PSG for a long time before he ever stepped foot on these shores. And he's been incredible for a long time. But I think this is probably one that's a bit past it. If we'd have been linked with him, so do you remember the January when we were looking at players like Lingard and stuff like that? I felt like if it was ever going to happen, it was that January. I think it's gone now. It's done. I think we're looking at better than this. So I don't feel like we should spend too much time on it. He's going to be, by the time the season starts, he's going to be 31.
Yeah.
He's not the most physical. He's not. Is he going to have much in terms of legs left and output? Debatable. It's hard to even tell you whether he can or he can't. If we scroll down and have a look at this season, so he's played. He's made 4 starts for Premier League 2, Tottenham, basically, and he's made 13 appearances, only 127 minutes, no starts in the Prem. So he's not really done a lot in terms of this season. And he has been slowly sort of reducing in minutes. Like he was going from over 2,000 to under 2,000 in those 2 seasons, and then absolutely pretty much nothing this year. So it has fallen off. As you can see, this was the early start I talked about. He peaked very early. He was brilliant at PSG from a young age, very important in their squad.
Yep.
Was responsible for all of this back here. And if we have a look at what he's done, so this is him. This is his sofa score. Here he is. Let's put that down. Oh, he can't get much. His value can't get much lower than it is right now.
No, I think he's affordable. I think he's affordable.
Look at all this. It's so bad. All right, so let's have a look. Obviously, everybody who watches, other football will see he had an absolute mare. I think he came on and got sent off, didn't he? Where is he? Where is he? There we go. 90 minutes. And did he get a red card, didn't he? Error led to goal. I can't remember. I thought he got a red card. Abysmal performance. Didn't really do anything. Just came on as a sub.
Well, he was only on for a couple of.
It was the Everton game. He got sent off.
Yeah.
But the fact that you come on and get a 4.8 is, how do you get that low when you've only just entered the field? It's because he made a mistake.
Yeah.
So this was the one he got his red card. He played 8 minutes and managed to get sent off. Error leading to goal as well. Oh no, that's the other game. Sorry, I'm looking at the same thing. My mistake. Do apologise. Let's find his stats for this game.
And of course, he as
there he
Julie
is.
J points out, he is good friends with Bruno as well.
Well, yeah, but
But
talent,
then again,
talent knows
so's
talent.
Paqueta. Yeah.
So there's just not a lot going on here apart from the red card. He wanted an aerial duel. He made one pass, touched the ball 3 times, and then got sent off. Yeah.
Awesome.
There's not really a lot to go on here. So we might as well move on and have a look at his transfer marked. It is a real shame. I don't want to badmouth this guy because I thought he was brilliant sort of 4 or 5 years ago.
He's had his day, Alex. I'm not, I don't see us going for him.
35 caps for Brazil, 4 goals, a wealth of experience. But I think this is one that's kind of, I mean, you can see the value there. It's just gone, just fallen off a cliff. He's although I didn't actually, I forgot about that, is a free agent. I can see this being sort of he's going to end up at a Marseille or I can see that kind of transfer for him. I don't know why. It's just in my head. I can see him in Ligue 1 somewhere again because he's been there before. I mean, yeah, I think this is a no-no. Although, who's his player agent? If it wants to load. They represent... Oh, look, they got lots of funny Brazilians. They've got Gabigol, Anthony. Yeah, I mean, they've got a few. They've got Fabinho, the right winger, not the one from the Premier League. Pato's in there as well. Very nice.
Yeah, he do you remember that he was going to be a huge star, and he just faded away, didn't he, Pato?
He was all right for AC Milan, but it did fade away eventually, didn't it? So, yeah, we might as well get rid of the screen. Lucas Moura, no. I'm saying no. I reckon probably 99% of the viewers will also say no. And you probably, Paul.
Yeah, it doesn't fill me with any excitement, him. But like I say, he has been linked. We take a look at him and see maybe what he could bring, but I don't think he'd bring anything. I think he's had his day. He was fabulous for PSG.
But
he was absolutely.
Moura has an assist for Liverpool. Yeah, that's technically
true.
He
does. Yeah, he does have an assist for Liverpool. But I remember him for PSG. He was absolutely fabulous for them. So much pace and
wicked outside foot shot. He used to just. Do you remember what Glenn Johnson used to do and hit the crossbar?
Yeah.
Or Davide Santon for us. He would cut in, hit the crossbar. Lucas Moura would do it, but score. He wouldn't hit the crossbar. He would score regularly. He was incredible at it.
Yeah. Wes says if Liverpool edge it, I think Man United will drop to 5th. Could honestly go down to goal difference, especially with Liverpool having Southampton last game. I think we'll see it through and get 3rd. Yeah, I've always said I'd be more worried if I was a Man United fan. Alan says, come on, Paul. Everyone knows you are second only to Daisy around here. To a cow? Thank you very much. Roper says, Paul, you're amazing too and such an amazing host. Thank you. Don't worry, you're amazing too, Paul. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Simon says, you nip out the room for 5 minutes and 2 goals have gone in. I know, but if you're playing as bad as Leicester City, it is sadly, they look like they are going down as well. Billy, half time yet?
Got about 17 seconds of the 4 minutes of added on time. It's been non-stop Liverpool since the goals went in, basically. Leicester have shown no fight whatsoever. This is a team getting relegated without any shadow of a doubt. And one good thing about it is we've got to play them. For 10 minutes, they look competitive without really creating a lot. But since then, they've been absolutely diabolical, and Liverpool have taken control without getting out of second gear. It's now half time.
Well, we did say yesterday, didn't we, that the Leicester looked like the down tools. And from what you're saying, Billy, it looks like that's exactly the case at the minute.
Yeah, as soon as Liverpool started putting a bit of attacking intent, they just faded. They just shrunk. They've been shocking since the 10th minute.
Jesus. Well, we'll catch up with you, Billy, if we're still... Well, we will be on for, into the second half, so we'll catch up with you shortly.
Okie-dokie.
Cheers, bud. So there you go, 2-0 at half-time from the King Power Stadium. Not the score that all the Newcastle fans were hoping for, but my God, Leicester just gone to hell. Just gone to hell. Magic Mold says, if you can't get in that Spurs team, then you're no good for Newcastle. Yeah. David wants you to go against Simon Jordan. Well, he won't come on the channel, so... it's about time, says, unfortunately, Moura peaked at 20 playing for San Paulo. Still better than Fraser, so I'd not say no. He was good for PSG.
PSG days.
Yeah, he was awesome for PSG. He really was. Jordy Howeman says, unbelievable demise of Leicester City. Just shows how recruitment of the right players is fundamental. Look, I didn't have Leicester to get relegated this season. I thought they had a good enough team to stay up. I think, people going on about Brendan Rodgers saying what a brilliant manager he is. I think he's done a shite job for Leicester this year, given the players there. But they are paying for it, I guess. Stiff Gator says Moura would be looking for one big final paycheck. He is not here to compete anymore. He is not a Trippier type of mentality.
True.
Could be a
I mean,
good
Trippier
point,
came off the back of a La Liga win. Moira's coming off the back of what? Being basically Ryan Frasered at Spurs.
Being at Tottenham, yeah. That's bad enough, really, isn't it? Right, next player is Conor Gallagher. Interesting.
I thought we'd swing back around to him because he's been linked by the Daily Mail today.
He has, yes.
There were quite a lot of interesting names. I mean, we do need to try and ramp up the transfer shows because there's so many interesting names. We've been linked with a few City and Manchester United youngsters. We've been linked with some, I think, some Danish players. We've got a few random links floating around that are really, really interesting. We've got another left back that we've also been linked with that I've not mentioned, but I will save them for another day. We'll finish it on Conor Gallagher because I feel like we've looked at him and we've all gone, Joe Willock's better, which is fine. Whatever, we can say that.
We're talking about squad depth now, though, aren't we?
We are.
We can't talk about all these players who are, all these wonderful players who are going to come into the starting 11. We have to build a squad. If whatever European competition we are in next season, we need a squad. Therefore, it's not just the big names we need to talk about. It's the players that are going to come in and build up a squad.
Exactly. I think this is a kid that if he gets a run of games, like a proper run of games in a team, would excel with tactics, instruction, work ethic. I think it fits our system down to a T. I do think players like Joe Linton and Joe Willock have overshadowed them this year, but Chelsea's been an absolute dumpster fire, and I do feel sorry for some of the young English Chelsea lads there.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to be English, anybody really. So realistically, he's on £50,000 a week. We could double that and he wouldn't be our highest earner. We could give him wages that would, progress him in his career. Contracted until 2025, 2 years left. Look, Chelsea are going to be in a massive world of hurt financially unless they shift some assets. This is somebody who's come through the academy who was effectively on their books free. If they can get a reasonable fee for him, I think they will take it because they need to clean house. They're in a mess. So this is something that could be good for both clubs. He would count as homegrown, not homegrown at club, but he would count as homegrown. So he would tick that box. He's still at 23, so he's still sort of at that Joe Willock age bracket where he might peak in 2 to 3 years' time anyway. I think despite playing a bit more like Joe Linton and Joe Willock, he's a bit more right-sided. He would prefer to play in that sort of Longstaff position and wants to drive on the right-hand side. Has played in the 10 as well at Palace, as we know. So let's scroll down and look how he profiles. And I think you all guys will be pleasantly surprised to see we've got Bellingham and Joe Linton as the first two he's profiling as in terms of where he's spiking statistically.
Tasty.
Yeah, I know people don't like Fred, but he always profiles very well. Yusuf Fofana is somebody we've been linked with as well. Goretzka we got linked with once upon a time. Kamada we got linked with. I remember we did a transfer show. Rabiot we've been linked with. Dewsbury Hall we've been linked with. So a lot of people on this list. You can see what our scouting department have been doing because they've been looking at players who profile a certain way and who have a certain skill set. So I mean, statistically, kid's a monster. Progressive passes received, he stays high up. Lots of touches in the attacking penalty area. Extremely high successful take-on rate in the 87th percentile. Progressive carries is major high. Progressive passes is also really healthy. Could do with tidying this up a little bit, but he's more than fine in terms of passes and pass completion rate. Shot volume is nice. Well, I say nice and healthy. It's ridiculous. It is very, very high. This is a lad that a lot of people have written off and say it is not going to get a look in because they've signed players like João Felix on loan and all of this. Profile-wise, incredible from 1,900 minutes. Defensive output is through the roof as well. I mean, if you're going to try and build a right-sided version of Joe Willock slash Joe Linton, Sean Longstaff that can be high energy, it's kind of Conor Gallagher, really. He's not got that technical ceiling like a Tielemans or a Maddison that we've talked of, but this kid's far more about energy. So scroll down and have a little look. He did manage 33 starts at Palace. He got 15 as well this season. He's had more starts than I thought, to be fair. Let's go down.
I mean, look, I think this season, I'm not paying too much attention to this season, to be honest, because Chelsea is just in an absolute carnage show down there. The managers, the players they've brought in. If you're a young player like Conor Gallagher, you're looking around going, well, what the hell is going on? It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, you can look. Obviously, this is a result of Frank Lampard coming back in. I'm sure of it. But the game against Brighton, sandwiched in between the two Real Madrid fixtures, he got tasked with being the number 10 in front of Zakaria and Enzo Fernandez. He was the guy to try and pull the strings to either spread it out to Mudryk and Pulisic or be even behind Sterling. He was the guy. He managed to score in that fixture as well, and we know how good Brighton are. I mean, we've got to play them and are quite scared of them. Heat map. He's everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Look at that. Crazy. He got his goal. 60 touches. Very, very, very tidy with the ball here, which goes to show kind of contradicts his stats here in terms of his pass completion rate and everything. So when he wants to, more than capable of being tidy. And against a Brighton side, to miss one pass against a Brighton side when you're a number 10, that's not bad. That is really, really tidy. So he's definitely capable. One shot on target, obviously, was his goal. Really, really challenged physically. He'd probably have Pascal Gross and Solly March and Caicedo all over him all game. Still came out looking respectable in the ground duels and the aerial duels, completed all of them. So, he does what he says on the tin. We all kind of know what Conor Gallagher is. You can probably watch about half an hour of Conor Gallagher and you know exactly what kind of player he is. He's one of them. So here he is set up in the left side of a 4-3-3 in midfield. Scored again. Profiled really well. It's got really, really high rating in terms of a 7.7 is extremely high. Heat map, crazy, just everywhere. God, I'm sounding like Jack now with my adjectives. I need to get a thesaurus. 88%. Pass complete accuracy.
Don't be having a go at Jack. He's not even on the show.
Sublime. I mean, I'll say, Jack, this guy has been sublime in the recent games that he's been. Considering how much of a frustrating season this kid must have had, he mentally could have. How many footballers have we seen that have really struggled mentally and they've had dips in form and this has gone wrong, that's gone wrong. This kid has just come back and started playing really well straight away, no blip. Which is hats off to him. It's really impressive. You can imagine how hard it's been around to be at Chelsea at the moment. Put in a really, really tidy performance, lots of touches, high passing accuracy, tried to get stuck in the duels here, did get his goal. If I can scroll down, that would be nice. Couple of fouls, drew a couple of fouls as well, a few tackles. Let's go and have a look at the important bits. So 6 caps for England, although I do think he was very fortunate to receive his last one. I don't see this before. Why have we got a different graphic? Where's this come from? Oh, it's because I've accidentally clicked on market value. No, we don't want that. All right, scroll down. So we've already seen this. We don't really need to look at this. Contracted until 2025. He does have a couple of brothers if we want to go and pick up some younger Gallaghers from Dorking Wanderers and Rains Park Vale, but probably not. So let's have a look at his player agent. That's the whole reason we're on this page. Let's go and have a look. So Joel Veltman, you've got not many people. I'm trying to think of people we will have dealt with in the past. Didn't we have something to do with Louis Barry at some point, or was that?
Not in my recollection. I've never heard of Louis Barry.
I think he was something to do. I think we were linked with him or something. I can't remember. So I'm not sure there's anything we've sort of touched before in terms of transfer dealings. So I don't know if we've got much sort of experience with this agent. Let me just have a look at Louis Barry because I could swear he's from Sutton Coldfield. Where has he played? Okay, I think it was West. Was it West Brom? I could have sworn we were linked with him at one point a few years ago. But yeah, Conor Gallagher. Again, the fact that he's profiling as Jude Bellingham and Joe Linton, and the fact that Joe Linton is next to Bellingham is hilarious. As well.
That is absolutely incredible. It really is. Look, Conor Gallagher for me would be a definite yes, because as we've been talking about, we're talking about squad depth, and to have Conor Gallagher as part of the squad would improve us dramatically compared to what's already at the club. You've got to think, we've got a very good 11. We've got some 4 or 5 decent substitutes. We need more guys. We need more. We need quality. And I'm not paying any attention to this season for Conor Gallagher, because it's been an utter shit show at Stamford Bridge this season. That is why you can't really pay any attention to what's gone on this season. Peter says, evening, Paul and Alex, would you take Vardy from Leicester? No, he's had his time. Vardy is done now. I can see Billy shaking his head as well. No, not a chance. Listen, I think if Leicester go down, Vardy stays there anyway. I think he's still got a lot to offer, certainly from a championship level, definitely, if he's going to try and help Leicester get back into the Premier League. Lawrence has come up with a good point. Says it's mad that 4 years ago, we lost Perez to Leicester due to our lack of ambition. We could now seal Champions League football whilst they could be relegated next Monday. It's madness how football turns around like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think they have been very unlucky. It's been, they were recruiting well. They kept losing their best players ever since their title win. And they always managed, they lost Danny Drinkwater. I know he was awful after he left Leicester, but he was very good for Leicester. So Drinkwater, Kante, Mahrez, the list goes on. And Maguire, despite what you say about how he did, was very good for Leicester when he was there. He's been awful after Leicester, but he was great when he was there. They just didn't. They replaced well enough for a time, and then when it didn't work, you got players like what's his name, Ndidi and stuff. Samare didn't quite work out. A few injuries, a few retiring players. And then people like Sayuncu and stuff, just their form he was good for a season and then his form tanked. It is a combination of factors.
I mean, Sayuncu and Feis, Jesus wept. I
think that was unfortunate, though. I think Wat Fast was profiling really well in Ligue 1. Sometimes it's a gamble, Visually, he played well in France. Statistically, he played well in France. It was a gamble. It didn't work. He's not been good enough. He has single-handedly dropped them a lot of points.
Can you imagine we got him instead of Botman, Alex? It's frightening.
I don't think it would have been instead of, but we did look at him, which is concerning.
Dan says, if you had to choose, would you pick Madison or Szoboszlai?
I'd pick Szoboszlai 100%.
So would I, yeah. But why not get them both? Hell, let's just do it. If I was the manager, I would be, doing what I've done on Football Manager and took Chucky out on quite a lot of these players. But it doesn't work like that in real life. Gallagher is a good player, says Foxy. English, obviously much better options out there and cheaper. Gallagher would seem like a lazy signing for us. Not after seeing them stats, I don't agree with that, Foxy. But again, your opinion, mate. I just think as a squad player coming in, I think it'd be fine. He's a very, very good player. Toon Gremlin, good evening. Just working late, so just got onto the show. Ian says Gallagher is good, but who's he an improvement on? Well, it doesn't really matter because we're building the squad. It's not a case of an improvement of. We know who needs to go, but listen, tomorrow night's show is all about that, of who we all think. We think, or well, I'll rephrase that: who we think should be leaving, but also realistically who will be leaving. So it'll be a good show tomorrow night with the four of us, and we'll all have our lists there about what players we want out and why. We've got to have reasons why as well. It's no point just sitting here going, well, want such and such out and no reason. You've got to have a reason for wanting them to leave. I think there's a few that we probably will all put down. There's a few that we will all have that are very, very different, I guess. JT says Conor Gallagher. Now, there's a player, definitely a Howe type player too. Love to see him in the black and white shirt. But then Simon says, I don't fancy this kid. We can do a lot better, I reckon. Look, I mean, Gallagher's done well both at West Brom and Crystal Palace. I mean, Vieira, he harped on about him so much about what a good player he was. And even Thomas Tuchel did say that when he came back, before it all went pear-shaped at Chelsea. He did say when he was on loan at Chelsea, he was going to be in his plans for this season.
Yeah. So I could see Palace going in big for him again, because obviously Wilfried Zaha is going on a free at the end of this season. Palace are going to have to try and get his output from somewhere, because he's been scoring sort of 10 plus per season for a while, contributes a lot. I know a lot of people don't like him, but he does he does walk the walk for Palace, regardless of whether he does silly things. So I reckon I could see Palace going. I could see him dropping 40 plus million on somebody just to try and plug the hole. And if they get it wrong, I could see them going down as well. Depends if they lose somebody like Elise. But I don't think they could afford that. If they can't lose Zaha on a free and then sell Elise. I think they're going to be in all kinds of trouble, Palace, if they do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim says Maddison and Tielemans not good enough for us from what they're showing tonight. Well, Tielemans, the links with Tielemans have disappeared off the face of the planet. But look, Maddison, I mean, look, you can't just base it saying they're not good enough on just tonight's game. Leicester have down tools. It's blatantly obvious that the confidence is rock bottom. They can't see a way out of the situation that they're in, and they're heading out of the Premier League. But when you're in a team like that, there's no confidence. Look, we've seen it with Newcastle when we've had very, very good players in the team, but the team don't gel and we get relegated. Look at the last time we went down, what a team we had when Rafa was in charge. Some of those individual players in that team were fabulous, but it didn't gel as a team throughout the season, mainly because of Steve McLaren. But, the manager's got to let
that down. The fact that Wijnaldum and Sissoko started in that team and then like 4 years later faced each other in a Champions League final for Tottenham and Liverpool just goes to show we had a solid team. We just had a terrible manager.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. Right. Before we end the show, let's take a trip down to Billy Bob Kamara and see how the second half has started. Billy.
It's moving. The first half, Leicester had a really good chance after about a minute of the second half. James Maddison clean through right-hand corner of the quadrant of the penalty box, one-on-one with the keeper straight at Alisson. Since then, Liverpool have started to take a bit more control again. Leicester really aren't at the races. Their heads have dropped. Then, they haven't they've got the quality, but not the mental aptitude, it looks like to me.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Billy. Very much appreciated.
No problem.
So there goes Billy, and of course Billy will be back on tomorrow night with us for the Who Goes. I mean, I don't know really what the hell to call that show tomorrow. I'm gonna have to come up with something, but it will be at 8:00 again tomorrow night. Thank you very much to everyone that has been watching tonight. Over 700, which is fabulous. If you have enjoyed the show, don't forget, guys, to hit the thumbs up. It is massively important to us. And of course, if you're new, please do hit the subscribe button. It's fantastic being a part of this channel. Everyone in the chat will vouch for that, probably apart from Peter Dolan, who got told off tonight. But you know what? It happens from time to time when passions start to rise. But thank you very much to everybody who's become members and, of course, Super Chats tonight, and, of course, to the Mod Squad for another fantastic, overseeing of the chat, I guess, is what the words you'd use. But we will do plenty more transfer shows now, all between now and all through the summer, of course, because it is exciting. Whether we get these players or not, it doesn't, the players that we are being linked with is just fantastic. And you start imagining them playing at St. James's Park and you think, wow, not long ago, we just lost the plot and we weren't anywhere near where we are now. And it's fabulous for us fans. Now, the result of the poll is very, very interesting. I did miss, of course, the results of the poll last night. Whoops. However, tonight's poll is: what type of left back would you, as a fan, like to see come in? Would you like to see a fullback like Trippier or a fullback like Dan Burn?
Well, left back. This
well, yes, a left back. Yes. Overwhelmingly, 88% of you, of 456 votes, said like Trippier. and only 12% wanted a tall, lanky sort
Good
of
luck with that, because
left
88% of
back.
you are going to be very disappointed, because I'm pretty sure we're not going that direction.
Yeah. We'll see, though. We'll see. And before we go, a massive happy birthday to our Canadian buddy, Ryan, our mod. Happy birthday, matey. And I hope you're having a fantabulous day wherever you are. I don't know whether you're in the barracks or you're home now or what, but soon you'll be all over the bloody world with the army, maybe. But happy birthday, mate, and a hell of a year for you, mate. So hope you've had a blast today. But that's it, guys. Thank you very much to everybody for watching. We will see you again tomorrow night with a very interesting show about who's going to go. We'll see you at 8 o'clock. Until then, good night.
Come back and check on some breeze.